Well, as always, thank you all to the panel, everybody that's engaged in the chat, and those that are sitting back listening. Um, whether those of you that are listening agree with the views and the policies of A2 or not. This show and many shows like it are necessary for us to see where people stand. Everybody doesn't have to agree with us. Everybody doesn't have to see the world the way we see it. But understand what this institution is about. And I mentioned before with the policy of seeing and dealing with all enemies, foreign and domestic. There are people that are listening to this right now that mean not only those of us in this institution, but those of us in the community harm. Not physical harm necessarily. I'm not going there with that, but harm nevertheless, whether it be intellectual harm, whether it be financial harm, or whatever have you. And it's not just, the usual suspects or the folks we bicker with or about or whatever have you. This is a much bigger problem. We do have enemies, both foreign and domestic. And we need to remember that it is necessary for us to make sure as a community that once we understand what's going on, that we do not harbor people who mean our people harm. That is imperative. And we have to also realize that not only are these people exploiting us and wasting our time, but they're also, as Gabby very eloquently put it, are essentially making us or convincing us to pay for our own incarceration, where we get to sit in prison and preach to others about sovereign citizenship and under manners of paper terrorism, things like that. For all of the things that our people are subject to, all the mistreatment, all the economic bias through the credit system and the banking system, we don't need to give any of these people any another reason to mistreat us. So why do it through this? Because somebody comes by saying something that sounds good. So I just wanted to reiterate that point. And if anybody's got an issue with anything I've said here or anything anybody else in A2 has said, you all know how to reach us. And there will be no cutting people off or keeping them from calling in or anything. Nobody's being blocked. I can dial into this meeting with anyone's number and get through. That's not an excuse. So I say to all in the community, as Ms. Gabby has said, protect your neck. Because there's people out here that mean to do you harm, and it ain't always physical harm. We got to start looking at it like that. And there are definitely people among them who look exactly like us. The most efficient assassin, the most efficient infiltrator is that which looks like the people being infiltrated. Brother Malcolm, and I'll leave on this point. Brother Malcolm mentioned something in an interview about that the time was in the context of liberals and conservatives, but it applies here. He said, you know where the wolf stands? The wolf will let anybody know what he wants for dinner. But it's that fox. That fox wants the same thing that wolf wants. But that fox is going to try to be the prey's friend, or at least act like he's the prey's friend. To come by, say nice things to you, say things to get you inspired, worked up. Make one misstep, give somebody a reason, and that fox got you on the plate the same way the wolf would. I'm taking it out of a political context and applying it to our community. We all know about the folks from other places that set up shop here in our neighborhoods and sell us garbage and use the money that we give them to put their children through school, to pay for their houses, to pay for their families. We know about those people. They're not even hiding it anymore.
Copper. Keep going.
What about that fox? What about that fox that comes around, looks like you, acts like you, talk the same stuff you do, listen to the same music, can relate to you, but trying to sell you your own incarceration, trying to sell you poison, the same poison that they beating on the wolf about. Watch out. Make sure you don't let the fox in the hen house. Especially when it comes to your daughters.